Talking crazy when I already know how your neck really works. I know you hate me deep down because you really can't stand yourself. You cannot make this stuff up. They call me Slim Reaper, but my weight is up. People keep telling me I should wait, but wait for what? The weight is already up. Look, it is time now. So if you see me with it, just know it is mine. When these other women rap, it sounds like they are just putting words together. But when I rap, everything lands heavy, everything sounds expensive, and everything hits like pressure. Stop playing with me. I got people locked up really rocking with me. I got people in the streets really standing with me. I got people down south really tied in with me. I got people from different sides really backing me. And why are you looking at my shoes? I swear I already know how some of these people move. After months of non-stop noise, non-stop talking, and non-stop public drama, Claressa Shields has suddenly gone completely quiet, and people online are saying they already know why. According to the conversation, the whole situation that was supposed to embarrass Remy Ma ended up flipping right back on Claressa and Papoose instead. What was meant to make Remy look messy somehow turned into people side-eyeing the people who were talking the loudest. And now the silence is looking real suspicious because the energy changed fast. All week long, people have been talking about Remy Ma's track, and according to the narrator, this was not just some random diss record made to stir up internet drama. This was deeper than that. This was Remy finally opening her mouth after staying quiet for a long time. For months, Remy had reportedly tried to keep things classy. She stayed calm, stayed diplomatic, and did not rush to put every detail in the street. But according to the narrator, there comes a point where being quiet starts looking like weakness, and Remy finally decided she was done letting people play with her name. The narrator says the breaking point came after Claressa allegedly inserted herself into married people's business while going after Remy's husband. And from the way people are discussing it, they believe there had to be consequences for that. Because while Claressa was allegedly making comments publicly and keeping the drama alive online, Remy was sitting back, watching everything unfold and taking notes. She was not loud at first, but that did not mean she was not paying attention. And when she finally responded, people felt like she came prepared. That is why the narrator says this track was more than just a diss. It was necessary. According to the discussion, Remy Ma is not only an artist, she is also a businesswoman with a reputation, a brand, and a public image to protect. So after months of what the narrator describes as a smear campaign, Remy finally responded directly. And once she did, the conversation shifted. Suddenly, people were no longer just asking what Remy did. They started asking what Claressa and Papoose had been doing behind the scenes too. The narrator says both Claressa and Papoose allegedly tried hard to push a negative narrative about Remy publicly. They allegedly went out of their way to damage her reputation and make her look like the villain in the story. But according to Remy's side of things, this was not just random gossip flying around. There was allegedly a whole PR strategy behind it. Apparently, Remy had already warned them before. She allegedly told them to stop spreading rumors, stop putting stories out there, and stop trying to shape the public against her. But according to the narrator, they kept going anyway. That is when Remy finally decided to expose what she believed was happening behind the curtain. And now people are looking at the entire situation differently, especially when it comes to Papoose. Because according to the narrator, Papoose spent years building this public image of himself as the respectful husband, the loyal man, and the stand-up guy who held Remy down. People loved that image. They believed in that love story. They saw him as the man who waited, supported, and stayed solid. But now, Remy is painting a completely different picture, and it has people questioning everything. According to the narrator, Remy claimed that while she was locked up and still handling responsibilities, paying bills, and financially supporting things, Papoose was allegedly dealing with other women behind the scenes. And the narrator believes that same pattern may have carried into this current situation. They argue that Papoose knew exactly what kind of personality Claressa had. So, instead of being the one to speak aggressively in public, he allegedly gave information to Claressa privately, letting her become the loud voice while he stayed quieter and cleaner on the outside. That is the part people are really stuck on. According to the narrator, the alleged strategy was simple. Papoose could publicly act like he did not want to bash Remy or speak badly about her, while Claressa was online saying all kinds of things. That way, he could look calm, mature, and above the drama, while Claressa carried the messy side of the story. The narrator says this was not random at all. They believe Papoose was allegedly behind a lot of the information privately, and now people are saying the whole plan backfired badly. As the situation kept growing, the public reaction became impossible to ignore. The narrator says the smear campaign they allegedly tried to build against Remy ended up hurting Claressa's image instead. Instead of everybody turning on Remy, a lot of people started questioning Claressa and Papoose even more. They started asking why Claressa was so involved, why Papoose was so quiet, and why Remy's name kept getting dragged while the other side tried to look innocent. Meanwhile, Remy appeared stronger than ever publicly, like somebody who had finally had enough and came outside with receipts. One of the biggest moments came directly from Remy's track itself. The narrator pointed to one lyric in particular that hit hard. Remy reportedly said, "Always claiming you helping somebody, but can't even help himself." That line immediately started conversations online because, according to the narrator, Papoose has spent years talking about helping write hits, shaping careers, and being part of other people's success. But now people were asking a very simple question. If he really had all that power, all that talent, and all that influence, why does it seem like he is still stuck talking about old accomplishments? The narrator compares him to somebody who peaked years ago, but keeps bringing up the glory days like they happened yesterday. They even bring up an interview where Papoose mentioned having a huge deal years back, while questioning what that really means today. Because in the present moment, Remy dropped this track and reportedly climbed high on the iTunes rankings, while Papoose was being dragged into a conversation about old claims, old wins, and whether he was really as important to Remy's success as he made it seem. That contrast became a major part of the discussion too. According to the narrator, Remy had protected Papoose publicly for years because he was her husband at the time. She allegedly let him keep that image. She let people believe certain things. She did not run around exposing every detail or correcting every story. But now that the relationship has fallen apart publicly, people are starting to wonder how much of that perfect husband image was real and how much of it only survived because Remy chose not to speak before. She helped build the image people had of him. She stood beside him, defended him, protected him publicly, and allowed the world to see him as this loyal, stand-up husband. But now, according to the narrator, Remy finally felt pushed into telling the truth publicly because she has real business opportunities, major projects, and a reputation she cannot afford to let people keep playing with. She could not just sit back forever while rumors, negativity, and messy narratives kept spreading without saying anything. At some point, silence stops looking peaceful and starts letting people rewrite your story for you. And that is where Claressa's reaction became a huge talking point online. Because according to the narrator, Claressa had spent months being loud on the internet. She allegedly made repeated comments, repeated claims, and said all kinds of vulgar things while trying to make her relationship with Papoose look stronger than ever. But once Remy's track dropped, the whole energy changed. Suddenly, Claressa went quiet. The narrator says it became straight crickets. And that silence only made people talk even more, because Remy allegedly did not just throw random shots. She addressed very specific things. According to the narrator, Remy talked about Claressa allegedly copying her style, watching what she wears, and trying to move like her. And she also made it clear that she understands exactly how Papoose moves because she already lived through it herself. That is why the narrator believes the track hit Claressa so hard. It was not just a diss. It sounded like somebody who had history, experience, and receipts speaking from a place of knowing. And when somebody can describe the situation that clearly, it makes the public start wondering who was really telling the truth the whole time. Then came the gym video, and that only made things worse. According to the narrator, Claressa posted a clip of herself boxing shortly after the diss track started gaining attention online. But instead of helping her image or making her look unbothered, people mocked the clip heavily. The narrator says before she even started seriously training, she was just swinging wildly at the air, and people online started comparing it to somebody who looked emotionally shaken up. It gave the internet even more material to run with, and once people start clowning a moment like that, it spreads fast. And then people noticed something else. Claressa had apparently worn mismatched shoes to the gym. Later, she reportedly explained online that both shoes were black and sitting near each other, so she accidentally grabbed two different pairs. But the narrator took the whole thing differently. They believe the pressure and embarrassment from Remy's track had Claressa so distracted that she walked out without even realizing what she had on. To them, it was not just about the shoes. It was about how deeply the situation seemed to be getting under her skin. By the end of the week, the whole narrative had shifted. People were no longer mainly criticizing Remy. Instead, attention turned directly toward Claressa and Papoose. And according to the narrator, Papoose made things even worse through his own interviews and public comments. The narrator points to clips from his interview that had been spreading online all week. In those clips, they say Papoose appeared to clown Claressa several times without even realizing how bad it looked publicly. At one point, he reportedly laughed while talking about a picture of Claressa, and the narrator interpreted his comments as him basically saying she needs preparation, styling, and the right setup before she can look her best. Then came the comments about their living situation. According to the narrator, Papoose made it very clear that he and Claressa do not live together. He reportedly shut that idea down completely. There were also comments involving rings and marriage, where the narrator says he acted like serious commitment was nowhere near his plans. And that made the whole thing look even messier, because while Claressa had allegedly been online defending the relationship and attacking Remy, Papoose himself did not seem to be presenting the relationship like something locked in, serious, or headed anywhere major. To the narrator, that made Claressa look worse publicly. Because if you spent months going hard online, trying to prove your place, trying to defend the relationship, and trying to make Remy look bitter, but then the man at the center of it all gets on interviews acting casual and distant, that is a bad look. It makes people ask if Claressa was fighting harder for the relationship than Papoose was. And once that question entered the conversation, the internet started picking everything apart Then there was the separate situation involving 50 Cent and Remy, which the narrator says added even more pressure during the week. So while those clips, interviews, jokes, and conversations were already circulating online, Remy released her track and it became the final blow. According to the narrator, the truth inside the song completely silenced Claressa. The same loud energy and confidence people had seen from her online for months suddenly disappeared. And the narrator believes there is a reason for that. They say truth always wins in the end. To them, this was never just about petty drama. This was about Remy protecting her reputation, her business, and her future opportunities after months of alleged attacks against her image. And according to the narrator, the result is clear. The smear campaign they allegedly tried to build against Remy ended up backfiring badly. Instead of Remy looking weak, she looked like someone who finally took control of the story. Instead of Claressa looking untouchable, people started questioning her image. And instead of Papoose looking like the calm, loyal, respectable man people once believed in, people started questioning his role in all of this too. Now, Remy appears to have regained control of the narrative publicly, and the narrator keeps coming back to one final message. People eventually reap what they sow. In their opinion, that is exactly what happened here. The people who allegedly tried to damage Remy's name ended up putting more attention on themselves, and now the public is asking questions they probably did not expect. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Remy Ma really exposed the truth with that track? Or do you think people are reading too much into the drama? Do you think the alleged smear campaign completely backfired on Claressa Shields and Papoose? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this situation is getting messier by the day. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next update.